and he and he is the reason for this season. Christ has risen to redeem the sins of the world, so that believers can seek a new life and participate in his Messias. Hello, Christian Carpenter. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Guru, what's going on? Welcome to the St. Ronin's Indoor and Tavern. I will be posting the link right now if anybody wants to come in or tell me that they love me, hate my guts, or want to discuss something. I just got off from a very long session of Call of Duty, and I can't sleep. And I wanted to have a beer, and my grandma gave me a case of Budweiser. So, yeah, my grandma's awesome. So, I just need to get that link, and we'll go through some things then. All right, here we go. Share this. Open that up. All right. I'm going to post a link here if anybody wants to come in and celebrate post-Christmas with me. Link is pinned if anybody wants to come in. I won't be doing much. I think I'll just probably find new material for their year-end review stream. But right now, I just want to get through some things. Hold on. I think there's a way for me to mask my identity further. Oh, there's not much I can do here. Okay. So I want to go through some old clips. We're going to be meandering around old clips from the Great Smoky Saint. I'm still trying to figure out how I can screen capture on my phone, because this one is new, and then I've been screen capping on an Android phone. So I just need to try and figure that out. Smoky. So just let me open a few things, and then we can get started. Sorry if I'm just doing this now. I absolutely have no idea what to do. Just coming around here and hanging out. What the heck is? Oh, all right. No. I don't want any of that right now. We're gonna go through some old. We're gonna go through some old, really old videos from the past, just to give me and you some lore. If we actually share the same old unawareness concerning that. We're going to see where I left off with this. Hold on. There was a particular video I want to look at. Oh, here it is. Somewhere here. Okay, I'm going to share the screen now.
Traveling through an infinite vacuum. Bible says that the earth does not move. It says.
So as you can see, you have Eddie Dune, the young flat Earth, the young flat Earth creationist. I don't know. He believes in the flat Earth, and it's going to be a double treat because we have Eddie Dune in the left corner, and then we have Chris Waffles. taking on Seth.
Is that the sun and the star?
No benefit, certainly no benefit to.
They live on the internet, and yet they want to
Bullying me.
Well, hold on, take it easy.
My brain is like scattered with these compartmentalized
people pretty easy. Like I did it with Wally. I did it with a little bit with Dore. I did it with Chris Lasala last night. Like all I have to do is just kind of like play their stuff and kind of observe things and notice it. I did it with the Raging Atheist. Like I basically ruined the Raging Atheist month simply by reviewing his debate. Like he was doing video after video after video of damage control and diffusion and condemning me and this. It was masterful. It was amazing. Like just sometimes even just observing, giving my observations and critique just sends these people into emotional tailspins.
Yeah, let me point this out again, and I'm giving away one of your secrets, but Dr. Geisler was one of the ones that did this too. You know, don't speak right away, listen, and you will find the error.
Oh yeah,
it will present itself. And the problem is too many people, especially somebody like myself, you know, I don't have the executive function, quote unquote. So my brain is like scattered with these compartmentalized areas that I go to think. You know, I don't have this organizational ability, and I forgot what in the world I was talking about because I saw a picture on the wall. See, somebody has my remote and they're changing the channels on me, but this is how my brain works, and it sucks because sometimes I can't stay focused. So I got to close my eyes a lot in order to think. So I don't have
this
as much as I actually want to get to the point of this, or the core center of what I'm trying to get through with this video, Kenny does indeed go through a lot. And the way he explained it, let's just say, I don't seem to follow, but he's experiencing that. And if you guys know, then you know he's been done over. I mean, he got rid off of reasons to believe, all because of Praise's antics. But that's not why I'm here. Anyway.
This moment last night in the stream showed me that all of these people are just morally confused.
So basically, Smokey is he's in here talking about why JP's Discord is filled with children who are morally confused, and they end up creating these unrealistic sets of laws, probably founded by their emotions or their self-righteousness or yeah, basically their feelings, which has led them to be some kind of pious signaling, virtue signaling kind of stance in this matter. And JP is not running his Discord well. But it's not that JP failed to do so. It was the fact that one of his followers, most of them being children, were the ones who, I guess you could say, started the channel. The Discord, rather. So
confused pontificators. They really actually, at like a substantive foundational level, really none of them have any clue what the hell they're talking about. And actually, this to me summarized it all pristinely. I'm glad Nikki caught it and really reminded me of it, because it's true. It just summarizes the whole problem with all of this.
And this is what Jesus pointed out, that these people are like sheep without shepherds, and they're being tossed to and fro. Of course, that's James, but he had compassion on the people. And I think, you know, all of the people that follow Chris, they're just sheep, confused. You know, some of them are kind of dum-dums, and they'll double down, triple down, but people are very subject to charisma, you know, somebody that thinks or speaks with authority. Walter Martin shared a story about how sheep are dumb, and he said he had a chance to be a shepherd for a while, and he noticed that there was this one sheep that would raise its head and, you know, bah, and everybody, all the sheep would get their attention. Well, one day this, goat or sheep or whatever it was, I can't remember if it was a goat or a sheep, but it still serves a purpose. Bellows, takes off running, runs into a barbed wire fence, and the entire herd slams into the barbed wire fence along with the leader. That's sheep for you. A lot of people are like that. It's really sad. I have a lot of compassion. I actually have compassion for Jaden. I don't know his story, but there's something there that tells me there's something that undergirds this desire for him to come in and assert himself or to, correct or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it's not sinister. It's naive.
Sure. Yeah, naive.
And that's kind of what I was agreeing with. That's when I addressed him, I kind of said the same thing.
Well, that is you, Seth. Young and naive. Cute.
Eddie,
I'm definitely naive.
Yeah, young and naive, cute, but naive nonetheless.
Oh, thank you.
See how sweet I am?
Oh, and I
You
would just like
Can
to
I have your
interject.
number, Kenny?
Yeah, I've talked to myself plenty of times, but it's 1-800-KENNY.
I'd just like to interject about the whole Nikki thing, and yeah, definitely she's a blessing, especially to me because I'm like this emotionless bastard. Man,
Are you two married?
For that. We're working on it.
Oh, okay.
Shep, you don't sound very emotional. By the
You know what?
voice.
I got my ordination in the back of a magazine. I could officiate a YouTube wedding just for fun. I could sign the license and all that kind of stuff. But
no, this is an old one, Guru. I'm playing an old stream so I can make commentary because, again, I do this because Will Kincaid and Smokey Saint have been wanting me to make commentary on old shows, and here I am doing the groundwork for them. I mean, just to give context as to how we got here, we got from there to here now. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit of pre-count.
Just in case if it's lost to the newcomers.
Counseling, not a lot, but just some wisdom, an hour with you two, and that's all I need.
I appreciate that.
Hey,
I wouldn't even
Smokey,
charge you.
To that comment you posted on the screen, what's ironic about these? What's ironic about these guys? They live on the internet, and yet they want to point the finger at us that we're living in a false reality.
I live on the internet, huh?
So back
Yeah,
on Nikki, you're 52 and she's 27. What's the deal with that?
I don't know.
She's 32.
She looks
Well done.
25.
She's 32.
She looks 25.
You probably ugly.
She
too,
says
but
31. She'll be 32 this year in May.
I'm just messing with all of you.
I turned 52 this month, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all in for, marrying a younger woman so she can take care of you when you're old. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she either really loves you, Shep, or you're rich. So think about
he's either
that
got
one.
money.
Well, I'm not. Let's just.
Nikki is a very beautiful person, and ever since she came to God, she's not just beautiful outside, she's also beautiful inside. Both of you are gems, Nikki and Guru.
We should put it this way: I'm not rich.
Well, there you go.
Drummer. He's a musician.
You know what? There
Well,
you go.
in a
You
monetary
gotta figure it
sense.
out. There
Let me
you
put
go.
it that way.
He's a drummer. He's got swag.
He's hung like a horse, basically.
So Eddie, the
Oh,
reason I
geez.
put your comment up there about the flat Earth, just so you know, is like I had this thing where I've kind of been doing in an exposition type of way thematically for my channel. I've been pointing out that generally, many times people that have a very, very shallow perspective of my particular methodology or mechanisms or things I do, or a lack of critical thinking, generally have some sort of other foundational problem in their theological framework that tends to lead to such a perspective and consideration. So it allows me to kind of sift out the root as opposed to just, focus on what's being.
Okay, so I don't know where he's getting the idea where we're getting a Disney-inspired free Masonic simulation. But you know something, Guru and Christian Carpenter? Watch how he denies this later on. But first, we just got to focus on the autistic children, as Smokey Saint defines it. Part of me wants to go into chats and be conspiracy trolling, but the matter is my parents and God taught me stops me. Well, true, but he's trolling, but he's trying to still seep in his young earth beliefs. So be careful with that. There's upon flavors nowadays, Guru. You should know that.
Being shown up front. So I like the idea that when I get someone who comes in who's going to generally challenge or condescend, is that in a short period of time, they'll show quickly that they don't have a good foundation to ultimately do it from. But I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to entertain it. I don't know if you necessarily want to talk about flat earth. I don't. But if you wanted to lay a charge to the topic of the show, which I guess is language, methodology, something like that, we'll hear your consideration. Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you.
The mere idea that in this topic it's a completely different subject, and then he just brings flat earth into the mix. He will have nothing good to say here. I bet you.
For allowing me on the show. Hello, everyone. Sure. I'm kind of like a new follower. I basically have been following. I know who Chris. I don't know Chris LaSala personally, but I'm fond of him. I've been following him for quite some time, and guys like Dory and Pastor David Lynn, and obviously then you have JP.
Absolutely.
Following the drama, and then lo and behold, Smokey Saint came out of nowhere. So that was a new development for me, and I've been following your program.
I've been around for a while.
I know, but I just wasn't aware. It's a new development for me.
Okay.
And
right,
I have like mixed emotions about you. Not that that's really important, but in terms of the flat earth, I'm not here to champion it. I'm not an expert. I'm not like an Eric Dubé. Or a D Marble, those kind of guys and gals. But I do not believe that we live on a spinning water pair, traveling through an infinite vacuum. Bible says that the earth does not move. It says that the sun and the stars all revolve around us. That's what God says. And man tells us today, modern day science tells us that we're a spinning, wobbling. It's a contradiction of what we're.
So what you're doing is that you're taking a superficial reading of the text, and then you suggest that the earth is flat. The only way that this is revolved, and then stars and the moon revolves around us. It doesn't make sense, dude. If you've actually learned to read between the lines, you wouldn't be getting a kind of hermeneutic just like that.
Being told in the Bible. So I've been taking a look at that, and obviously I refer to like the moon missions or lack thereof and things like that, and that's why I have my opinion on the matter. But I'm not here to debate that or anything like that. I wanted to touch upon something else. Smokey, you seem like a smart guy, like you speak eloquently.
Spare me.
And you're a forum, it seems as if that you're promoting yourself as a forum for edification for the body of Christ. You obviously touch upon scripture. You've declared your faith in Christ Jesus. But listen, I'm not, I know you don't care about my opinion or anything like that, but you've allowed me on here for a moment
to
share.
Care about anyone's opinion. I care about arguments.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that. I respect that. But I don't understand. It's the vulgarity, and it's some of the company that you keep, which is an absolute contradiction. Like, Will Cade makes me want to. He makes me actually. I get sick when I hear him.
We cast him out to outer darkness.
Looking Cade.
No. But I don't.
Should we not let him speak? Should we not let him express his opinions or ask questions because he can't control himself of certain words or feels he needs to? Should we cut him off? Should we silence him? What should we do? Just give me something prescriptive.
No,
give me something prescriptive.
Well, you actually feed off it, Smoke.
Can you give me something prescriptive instead of descriptive?
I mean, I would say, hey, Will. Is Will? I don't really know who Will Kincaid is.
It's Will Kincaid, guys. Can you shout out Will Kincaid? Try to get him in the room. Send him a message on Discord, please.
That's the problem. You don't know who Will is.
Well, I don't know him. I don't know any of you personally. I don't live in a fantasy world where
What religion is?
Okay, so notice that one. he says that Will Kincaid makes him sick just because he chooses to be vulgar, even for the wrong things. And when Smokey asks Mr. Eddie Doon over there, the flat earth idiot, by what metric does it make you sick, or by what standard are you saying that Will Kincaid is this, that, everything that's terrible? And Jared steps in like, you don't know who Will is. I mean, and he's going like, you don't know who Will is beyond the vulgarity. And then he follows up with, I'm not like deluded people like you who believe in this. How did he put it in his comment? Disney inspired Masonic conspiracy. Yeah, there you go.
So I believe I know you. I don't know.
Hey, man.
I don't know.
We live in a fantasy world?
I just think it's odd.
Someone go fetch Kincaid, please.
I mean, do you identify that his behavior is not Christ-like? I mean, is he a Christian?
No, he's not a Christian, so
okay.
we don't at all try.
You know, Eddie, you're the one to talk about being Christian, but you're adding flat earth into the text, which is something Christians are not supposed to do.
Try to regulate or govern his morality.
So this is an edifying...
Until he believes on Christ, we feel that it's best not to try to control him or conform him to our ideological movement that we're all.
Is absolutely
essentially.
You know, I went to school and I had to regurgitate that in order to get the grade, right?
Where's what? I think the president.
Kurgi. Oh, he's selling beers. Look at him. I'm sorry, Guru. I don't mean to
we'll send in votes
but
for you. I'm sure they let
selling
foreigners
beers
vote in
here.
your
He's
elections.
happy.
We'll vote for you.
He's one.
The sexual act.
I forgot that he comes in.
It's kind of silly.
Hold on. I'm looking for.
Right. Well, you have.
Jaden, I wish.
Jaden. Okay, hold on, Jaden.
Tell you 20.
Yeah.
He
was there for the ice cream.
Cross-reference verse, dude.
Why bother?
Why did Christ?
I didn't confess.
And yet he's
to
of
bad
the age
people.
where he
Okay,
should
that's
be
new.
concerned. He's emotionally bothered.
Okay. I'm rambling at this point.
Okay, I think it's in another video. I'm sorry. Because when I come in, they actually get into the topic at hand about JP handling his mods to autistic children, as Smokey Saint will put it. Sorry, guys, I'm having a cold. I don't know why I'm having a beer at the same time, but I need me some of that, I need me some of that wheat smoothie. You know what I mean? Wheat smoothie. Confronting Nicholas, or I watched some of these already. I forget where am I supposed to go. Here. Okay, hold on. Okay. Yeah, he was the best indeed, Joe. It sure was. By the way, Merry Christmas, Joe. Hope you're having an awesome holiday season.
Will be fixated on this bizarre cultural emotion worship that you people have sometimes.
Somebody literally hold on.
Ignorant, clearly like an intimate thing. His own word. As to whether you're, I told them this. I don't care.
To a single word.
Discord. Let me see.
Okay, so watch how Seth comes at Chris Lasala for adding in freaking rules or some kind of statute that doesn't even exist in scripture, and he ends up being one of the most self-righteous individuals in this particular segment. Just watch.
Yeah, you two are both Pharisees, wholeheartedly. JP, I'm not talking about you, and I'm not talking about you.
What is that? Okay, let me read that because you guys can't see it, because I'm the only one with equal vision right now. Seth says, "You aren't just a Pharisee, but you are an end of affirmative lying fool. Effeminate lying fool." There you go. Do you think there's smoking and cursing in heaven? Smoking a cigarette is not a sin. Aiden replies, "Oh, but giving yourself cancer isn't." Is there sex in heaven, Aiden? Does sex defile the temple of God? C.S. Lewis smoked a pipe every day. Is he in hell? And Aiden says here, I mean, this is what makes Aiden so freaking famous. You can't read it, guys, but let me tell you this. So Seth says, C.S. Lewis smoked a pipe. Is he in hell? And Aiden says, depends if he inhaled. like the irony of that, freaking conversation. It's just so wild, which has led us to the commentary of, if C.S. Lewis smoked a pipe and then he's in hell, if C.S. Lewis is in hell for smoking a pipe, then neither are you. No, if C.S. Lewis isn't in heaven for smoking a pipe, then neither are you fucking cunts are. Oh man, I mean, this is what happens when you're led by your emotions, and when you're led by some piety signaling, like, or you just basically look at this with the mind of a child, that you're just too scared about anything, which is against scripture, because God doesn't want you to be anxious. He wants you to feel assured and lo that he is with you to the even to the ends of the age or the earth. But here you have these sycophantic autistic children just creating rules out of thin air. And here you have something stupid with Aiden saying, well, depends if he inhaled a pipe. Like, dude, what do you even do with a pipe? Seriously, it's not hard.
You arrows at all. You guys have taken the most position possible. These guys are literally wagging their finger at someone because they're not convicted.
By the way, Luke Towers, welcome to the stream, dude. Merry Christmas. Hello, Andrew. Merry Christmas. Well, belated Merry Christmas for us, because you're just about 4 hours ahead of me. Holiday you were in the stream. Thank you for coming in and stopping by.
Convicted in the same way that
that's not the
we
one.
are convicted, or I am convicted. It's ridiculous. And for you to sit here and placate your emotional boundaries onto me, you know what you sound like? You sound like an LGBTQ person.
Bro, you're the only one that's emotional.
So
you're going to the end of the earth. You're going to the end of the earth to defend cussing.
Wait, who is that?
You sound like a middle schooler when their parents don't cuss.
You are a middle schooler.
That's how you sound.
Like literally.
Oh, here we go again. Here's this. You sound like a middle schooler because you're defending the idea of cussing. Like, what is even that? Where is that? Like, what is this idea of cussing, right? Like, he wants to go in there and says, you're the one that sounds like a child. You're the one that's emotional. No, dude, you're the one placating these rules that are unrealistic and ridiculously unrealistic to follow. Like, it's like saying that me having a beer is a sin because of the idea that it can make you drunk. Well, I'll tell you what, you won't get drunk if you drink in moderation. It's like these people are just willing to condemn you for the smallest and mundane of things. Ironic, to say the least, and this makes them more of the Pharisees. Makes them more of the Pharisees that they're claiming Seth is. Especially when Well, you tell me. And I thought the Puritans were worse, to be honest.
You're like 12 years old.
I'm not 12. Thank you, though.
Well, 14. Sorry, 14.
I'm 21. I'm almost 22, but thank you. It shows your fruit.
Well,
Now you're.
The audacity of it. But look at the guy on the third and the top third corner to the right. Like, can you see like the clicking of the tongue? He thinks like
I'm under the conviction.
He thinks he's so good. He thinks he's looking so good right now. Especially the Sagan guy is trying to dodge away from the problem.
I do not use those words. Period.
Okay. So let's say
okay. So no. Well, no. What? No. There's no. So I'm defending.
I don't use certain words, so that makes you a sinner and not me. But I'm gonna communicate the same old thing, and if I'm, dude, it's like saying, okay, put it this way, okay, it's like if I don't want to say that you're damned and you're unsaved, I'm just gonna say, sorry, I gotta clean the cobwebs out. It's like saying just because you're avoiding the words unsaved or reprobate, it doesn't change the communication therewith. I mean, this is, for example, if you're trying to communicate that the guy's unsaved or not, especially even when you're ignorant of the exegetical definition of what it means to be reprobate, dude, you're basically communicating the same thing. You want to say I'm unsaved, but you don't want to tell me that I'm unsaved. And then you're going to say to me, well, you're of the flesh. Dude, that's still saying the same thing, that I'm unsaved. So these people think that just because they avoid certain words, even though they would go as far as to communicate the very same thing that they try to avoid, they don't see that. They don't. They just think that they're good because they avoid certain words, or words that they might just, or words that might just offend people, you know? Literally.
I'm defending the Bible. That word you are not to put your convictions.
This cursing topic is run its course. It's not
right, but you're backing up.
No, I'm defending the Bible. You're not to put your convictions on other people. You're not to do that.
So what about slander, Simsagan? Is slander a freaking? Is slander cursing somebody?
I'm under the conviction not to use those words.
Come on.
I put it that way, that slander is okay. So the reason why I put, for me there, the reason why I say that slander is an equivalent of cursing, because you're literally painting a picture of the guy, which is not true. And then you vexate him in a way where, although it's not true, but you're basically getting people to believe in the kind of imagery that you paint him on, especially when he's not that certain imagery. That also goes for false accusations. That's why I say that slander is indeed cursing, and even in every negative ways, because again, as I said, you are painting a picture of a guy that's negative, a guy that's just basically a terrible person. In fact, when he's not, or let's say he is a terrible person, but you're misrepresenting him to the point where you have people hating him for the wrong reasons, right? That's what I'm trying to put at. That's why I'm saying that slander is cursing. And this is what Jesus meant when he was talking about filthy communication, violating, vexing, slandering, false accusation, gossiping. And they think just because they directly evade certain actions that directly defines what they're doing, they think it doesn't affect them indirectly. It's really, really stupid.
So obviously I'm not going to let my children use those words. You're not even listening to me, Sim. You're not listening to a single word that I'm saying.
Look, guys, at the end of the day,
this is in general.
if we can respect each other,
Oh, Seth, where did you post it?
That will help us to have more edifying conversation. But I think this conversation became pretty toxic and led to just insulting each other.
Oh, toxic! Really? You have the audacity to condemn Seth.
But
who did I insult?
They're clowns.
Huh?
It was Smokey.
I
Here it is.
The moment Seth takes him on their hypocrisy, the guy in the very first left corner says, "Oh, the conversation is now getting toxic." Well, there you go. There's your confirmation bias there, dude. I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong to have a bias, but you're not putting it in the right place.
Oh, no. I'm talking about us as a conversation, as a collective. Like, I'm not saying specific people. I'm saying as a
I think the only insult that was hurled was at me, calling me unsaved. That's probably the worst insult you could give a Christian.
Well,
you know that, right?
I agree with you.
And if you're not convicted, for doing that, then you're in just as much sin as you think that I'm in. For telling me that I'm unsaved, you're in just as much sin as you think that I'm in. And you should be convicted, cut to the heart. For telling a Christian, somebody who literally, hold on, JP.
Yeah, this was a dumb one.
I actually agree with that. For the word of the Lord is like a double-edged sword. So yes.
Here, let me show you guys this one here. This is funny. So this is Sim being a emotional, effeminate child. Here's okay, so here's Seth up here. He says you can't answer a question with a question. If someone is trying to steal your children, you should have the most visceral response imaginable. That answers your question. Hold on. These screens. Hold on a minute. Okay, there we go. All right. Most visceral response about and he says, Sim says, that answers your question. Jesus wouldn't do that, so I wouldn't either. I'm Christian after all.
See, look at that. There's the special pleading. You can't answer a question with a question. If someone is trying to steal your children, you should have the most visceral response imaginable. It's a normal physiological response. And then Sim Sagar here saying that answers your question. Jesus wouldn't do that, so I wouldn't either. Really? Well, so if Jesus went out there to being offensive, calling people a bunch of names, even at that time, were found to be offensive, or even in your case, bad words, if it wasn't wrong for him to do it, then it shouldn't be wrong for me to repeat it, right? And then he follows up with this special pleading. I'm a Christian after all. Why do you follow and who do you follow and model your life around? See, this is how I know that Sim Sagan doesn't have, or Sagar doesn't have an answer. He's just gonna pull this sanctimonious bullshit, and then, just to try and discredit Seth. And Seth says, well, thank God you're a father. Yeah, like, what kind of father doesn't react with a visceral response knowing that, oh, look, my kid has been kidnapped? I don't know. These people are like federalist or legalist. They take a look at they take one look at the Bible and they think it's just a set of rules that on the surface we ought to follow, or some kind of constitution or something. Like in my case, they're like reading the Bible as if it was the Philippine Constitution. It is what it is in the surface, but that's not what the Bible is. But they wish they were, because when confronted, they lose their shit.
Who do you follow and model your life around? And Seth says, well, thank God you're not a father. If someone is trying to steal your children and you don't react like a rabid dog, then there is something wrong with you.
Boom.
Sim says, I never said I wouldn't react aggressively. I said I wouldn't let corrupt talking.
What's corrupt talk? Give me an exegetical definition, not yours.
Come out of my mouth. So someone's stealing your children and you'll be violent and aggressive, but you won't possibly use any harsh language. I don't. So then Seth laughs, rightfully so. And then Seth says, rightfully at the, oh, here, we can't see it. Hold on. Oh, stupid screen. Sorry. There we go. Says you're literally, and then Seth says this, and this is right. This is how stupid Sim is. Sim is literally making the argument that it's okay to sometimes use violence, but it's not okay to sometimes use bad words. That nails it. That's like, yeah. See, this is that inconsistent, Pharisaic, legalistic failure of a perspective.
Yeah, I know these people are baby Christians, but it's not that they're, it's not like the idea where that the idea where they're baby Christians is not the issue, Luke. But you got to put them in their place when they're acting like a bunch of Pharisees, or when they're led by their emotions, or especially where they just make these unrealistic laws out of thin air just so they could pontificate and stuff. And then when you catch them, or they have no way to defend their syllogism, they then run to tactics like discrediting character, just like what they're trying to do with Seth. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. These guys need to know how to not be cowards and actually learn to have an actual freaking conversation. But anyway, Merry Christmas to you too.
That can't really be defended. That's just purely driven by emotions and then ad hoc reasoning. Like, that's Sim, you're a stupid, pathetic, so-called excuse of a man if this is really the type of garbage that you're letting come out of your idiot mouth. Shame on you, Sim. You're a joke, dude. And that's fine. I'm finding out real quick that JP's got a lot of inept, stupid, retarded children in his audience and on his panel that think they're a bunch of bold, wise pontificators. You people are dumb.
You know,
you're an embarrassment. You're all an embarrassment, not only to any semblance of Christianity, but also ethics and morality. You people are a joke.
You know what, Smokey? You know what, Smokey? This Sim guy, he's the same person that told me when you were talking about when Evan is here made a story about told a story about two teens getting high.
Stupid as hell.
Sim Sagan is the same guy that told me that the substance and maturity go hand in hand. Like what? Again, he's blaming the substance in itself for
you know what? See, that's what I'm saying, man. For this discourse,
it's not the substance itself that's evil, or what that of which moves your maturity. It is the cause prior to the instantiation of substance abuse, which has led to its effects. Sim is the same guy, as I said. Sim is the same guy who's going to put the effect before the causal mechanism. And dare I say, what is your justification? And he says, the substance and maturity go hand in hand. Literally not true. It's like me saying my maturity and me drinking a beer go hand in hand. It's not the beer itself that is dictating my maturity. It is the choice that I've made to partake in beer to the point where I'm no longer sober. Get your minds out of the gutter. That's not how reality works.
And for a lot of these people that JP seems to value and trust, I say good riddance. Seriously, I say good riddance to these people. These people are jokes. These are clowns. Like, they're just going to make a mess of anything that they try to touch. And these are the people, these are the King Midas of theology. If everything King Midas touched turned to shit. That's who these people are.
Man, this is worse than Van Til methodology. I swear, this is worse than Van Til's bankrupt philosophical methodology.
Thank you. It is worse. You know what? Absolutely. I'd take Van Tillianism over this crap any day of the week. Absolutely. You know what? These people make Van Tillianism seem profound, frankly. I mean, this is the most embarrassing, ridiculous. I mean, Will Kincaid nailed it. Will Kincaid summarized this so perfectly, and he did it in a text message and also in a side chat when he was watching this. He's like, Smokey, this is ultra instinct retardation. This is like retardation of like the highest tier. Like you can't even like ascend to a level of retardation beyond this. Like it's real. Like in fact, Will Kincaid even affirmed last night. He's like, dude, if these were the people trying to convert me, I would have nothing to do with Christianity. I wouldn't even listen to what these people had to say.
Yeah, you know what?
They're so comically bad and embarrassing and stupid. If this was Christianity, I would definitely want nothing to do with it. This is retarded.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I could imagine
that was Will Kincaid, and if you don't believe me, go ask him. I dare.
Oh yeah, I'll go ask him in his show. It's better off that way.
Go ask him tomorrow. We're going to be live.
Oh, awesome.
Speaking of which, I got to talk to him because G-Man's trying to reschedule the debate now. It's going to be a whole
thing. Okay. And you know what? Like, I could imagine them, okay? Like, when there was a time where I finally put my martial arts practice to use, like, let's say I defend, let's say let's say Sim Sagan and this guy, this idiot in the top left corner, they were getting mugged, but, I ballsed up and then I subdued the assailant, and I could imagine them, instead of thanking me for putting my own life at risk in exchange for theirs, they would say, "Why did you hurt him?" I could imagine, and you know what? I'd be like, I would express like, "Why are you this ungrateful?" The guy was literally not just threatening to kill you; he was mugging you. And then you're gonna throw trash at me for hurting him? He would have hurt you too, man. And other than that, I would have been hurt.
No, and John Q, just so you know, I was unbanned. I went back into the Discord this evening to confront Aiden and Ty and Berto and several others who all failed masterfully, praise God, because they did deserve the shame that they ended up feeling in that environment. They earned it. And so praise God for what was accomplished there. I was unbanned, but then I left. As soon as I finished the conversation on the debate stage, confronting these people and bringing my points forward, I left, and I left the server. I don't want any part of it. I was unbanned, but I don't care. I don't want to be in that environment. I'm not interested. I'd rather just go to my Discord where we can have something that's actually operational, not something that's run by a group of unethical, idiotic, retarded children. That's not fun. There's no benefit to that. I'm not going to drive people to that Discord or be a participant there when this is the type of scum that is running it. What a waste of time. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Evan, were you the one? Is this Evan? Evan, are you the one that came in and that gave that ridiculously stupid story that you thought was supporting something about the two teens that like engaged in substances and then fornicated as if like you think somehow I'm mocking it. I'm mocking it. I'll mock it all day long. It was a stupid point to try and make at that particular time. I'm sorry. Okay, I mean, I don't mean to offend you, but I'm going to be honest, dude. It made no point at all. It was actually a waste to the conversation. In fact, it was a distraction from anything even relatively substantive from what was being discussed. It was embarrassingly cringe and stupid if that was you that brought it up. I mean, just to be real with you, man. I mean, think before you speak, or else you say stupid things and then you have to feel shame for it. That's not fun for anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I wasn't making fun of you. I was just trying.
I'm not going to let. Yeah, I'm sorry, Boki. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
You know, guys, I'm not going to let you get away with just saying dumb things because you think you're supposed to, and it's like good to protect your feelings. Like I want you to stop and think before you talk. Here's the thing, just expect it. Here's the thing: if you're around Smokey, and you're gonna, okay, it was him. Okay, so Evan, let me level with you. This is how it's got to be. And this is how, again, you'll either know to deal with me in this way or you'll know to just avoid Okay, and that's fine. You take your pick. You do whatever you feel is right. But let me just explain something to you, dude. If you pipe up, if you chime in, I want you to really, really think about it. If I'm in the environment and you,
well, Andrew, accept me, because either they didn't know I was with Smokey, or I don't know. Maybe they found some value in me. I don't know. I was the only one that didn't get banned, and I decided, and I made it my decision to leave that group once and for all.
you pipe up and chime in, it better be something good. It better be something substantial. It better be justified. It better have value to the exchange. If you've just come out to share a general anecdote or make a non-connected case or a failure of argumentation, or you don't really think a lot about it and you just say something dumb, I'm going to shame you for it. I'm going to draw it out in perfect, pristine detail with observational exhortation. I'm going to draw it out. I'm going to point it out. I'm going to pick it apart. I'm going to dissect it. I'm going to ridicule it. And I'm going to shove it right back down your stupid.
And this is why the folks don't like Smokey. They're going to say, oh, he's just a heinous person. He insults you. He's offensive. No. It's the degrees that he would go through to make you see, or us see, how one's methodology is just so stupid and they ought to do something about it. And then they don't like it, so they just try to make him this terrible imagery of person. Yeah, this is why they hate him. And it's not because it's not just it's not just that he's exposing them, but he also exposes the method that they're going by. And then when they figure out that he catches onto that, they try to discredit him. And that's why most of them who try to defend who try to defend their own reputation, they will try to dig in his life. And well, hence you have the hashtag pedosaint hatred, as far as I'm concerned.
Stupid throat where it came from. And that's just going to be the nature of the beast. Now, if you want to avoid that, the best thing to do is to think intently before you open your mouth. Make sure it's something that's well thought out, justified, and gives good contribution and value to the conversation at hand. Otherwise, it's a distraction and an irritation. And if it has fallacies inside of it, very, very poorly thought out, poorly flushed out, I will point them out. I will draw them out, and I will draw shame to it, as well as the agent that brought it forward, misplaced pride, thinking that it was something beneficial to the exchange. I'll shame the argument and the idiot that thought the argument was good. Now, if you don't like that, you simply need to be a little more intent. You need to have a little more forethought or consideration or critical thinking to some of the perspectives you present. And in that case, you won't have the issue. That, or other option, also to avoid the discomfort of being called out for saying stupid things, is just not talk at all. That's the other option.
Yeah, and
so you can take your pick. Because, I mean, there's an age-old idiom. I don't think it's actually necessarily biblical, but it is very wise. It might be biblical. I'm not sure. It might be in Proverbs.
I mean, it's in Proverbs.
It's better to let everyone think you're a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
That's actually biblical. That's in Proverbs. I can't pinpoint which chapters because I used to spend all the time there. I'm trying to get back in it
later. I'm too lazy and tired.
Yeah. But you know,
good for you, Guru. And by the way, yeah, it's better to have people think you're stupid than to remove all doubt. Like, it's better to have them asserting than to have yourself prove them right. Yeah, and that does make sense.
You know what, Evan? Like, okay, I'm gonna be in level with you, man. I'm gonna show more character.
No offense, Evan. This is to your benefit, bro. This is not out of hatred or attempting to revile or strike at you. This is for the hope to inspire and catalyze improvement. We have a lot of very, very sad, pathetic excuses of so-called men who are coming into the new generation who will lead us into cultural oblivion, mark my words, unless we do something to inspire you sad, effeminate little cucks to develop a semblance of critical thinking and personal character. We're all screwed if we can't somehow inspire you people to develop something that clearly your parents have failed to give you. So no offense, but I got to be honest, man, and I got to point it out. This is not intended to.
See, this is why they hate him. Smokey tries to be honest. It's not just this particular group. It's for every single lolcow that we have encountered. It's because Smokey tries to be honest. And we get the idea. And then, yes, he is sick and tired of being called evil if he's trying to be honest.
Strike at you, but I do want you to recognize the nature of what should be considered respectable and what should not. And we operate with that idea and that intent on this channel and with our engagements. It's not intended to be mean. It's not intended to necessarily cause damage. Always the ultimate hope is beneficial utility and inspiring growth and improvement. I've been chewed out by Sam Shamoon several times. I don't revile Sam. I don't hate Sam. I don't have issues against Sam. Sam taught me, and he did so through the methodology that was available to him that he thought was best, that was also exhortative for me and his environment. And yet Sam gets all the nitpicks under the sun as well. But this is all intended for ultimate utility. And I believe if you have the critical thinking and the maturity to recognize it, you are the type that is welcome on this channel and in this environment because you're teachable. And you're not ruled by your emotions. You can still be spoken to with logic. And there is a bit of a litmus test that goes on with this channel to weed out the degenerates. And a lot of it has to do with whether or not you will be fixated on this bizarre cultural emotion worship.
I am actually tired right now, guys. I'm getting sleepy. And I'm just on my second pint. I usually don't go down this early, but it's 2:51 a.m. and I'm tired. So yeah, I'm just gonna close this right now. We'll pick this up another time. Don't take your salvation for granted. Take your sanctification seriously. God is the reason for this season. My name is Saint Ronin, and I'm signing in 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Guru Lady. Thank you, Christian Carpenter. Thank you, Luke Towers. Thank you, Andrew Graham. Thank you, Jill, for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video. And I'm signing out in 3, 2,